Good morning everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah and this is Jar of Fireflies. Here I make videos all about my life as an Orthodox Jewish homeschooling mother of 4. And today I'll be taking you along for a day in my life as I get ready for Shabbat. Okay, so not a lot of time to chat with you guys here this morning because I've got to kind of get right to it. As you saw, kids are awake and things are already happening around here. Mr. Firefly is in the kitchen starting to work on fish for tonight. We were invited out to lunch tomorrow, so I'm really stoked about that, and that definitely cuts down on the amount of work that we need to do. But I am making a dessert today, and I want to bring this dessert over to the house where we are having lunch tomorrow because I offered to make a gluten-free dessert to bring. Okay, so, wow, yeah, all the things. All right. Now, while at the time of posting this video, I'm actually enjoying the holiday of Sukkot, at the time of filming this video, Sukkot has not yet occurred. So later on in this video, I will give you a quick little recap of Rosh Hashanah while I'm cleaning or something like that. So anyways, I'm gonna go in and start working on the dessert that I wanted to make. I'm trying something new today, so this should be fun and interesting and hopefully will work out. But anyways, we're gonna go to get started on that and just keep going on about our day. And yeah, I haven't had any caffeine yet today, so I'm a little bit tired, but that's okay. All right, let's go do the things.
So I set up all of my things last night that I'll need for the dessert. I'm starting with this gluten-free yellow cake mix from Betty Crocker. And my plan is to layer it in little cups and then add one of these birthday cake cookies on top. All right, let's get started. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the cake mix part now and go ahead and bake that. I'm baking it in a 10 by 10 tray so that I'll have a lot of area there, a lot of space covered, and I'm not having to hopefully cut any layers in half. The little cups that I got to put the dessert in won't be arriving until later on this morning. They are scheduled to come before 11 a.m. and that should be perfect as far as getting this cake in the oven and giving it time to cool off. So here's hoping there aren't any delays. Never mind that overflow of applesauce that I had there. It came out a bit faster than I had thought it would. And yes, Mr. Firefly and I are sharing the kitchen this morning because we're going out to lunch. The only thing that we really need to cook today is the fish for tonight, which will also serve us for our third meal tomorrow. So he has just saved that for this morning and we're in here cooking together. I really love using cake mixes for my cakes. I know that there are great gluten-free cake recipes out there, and I don't even know if I've even tried one. I just know that the cakes are so easy and it just makes life so much easier. So yeah, that is why I am using the cake mix. Though I don't usually use this brand, I am excited to try it out. So I lined my pan with wax paper so that the cake will come out easily from the pan after it's baked. Then I had a little dance party with baby Firefly while I was waiting for the oven to finish warming up. And the oven is ready, so there we go, putting the cake into the oven for 30 minutes. When the cake came out, I just flipped it out of the pan onto a baking tray and then added another baking tray to flip that back over so it would be right side up while it cooled down. Peeling the wax paper off was slightly nerve-wracking just because the cake was so thin because I had baked it in that large 10-inch by 10-inch pan. But it did come off without breaking the cake, so I was pretty happy about that.
All right, so I'm gonna let that cake cool while I am waiting on the little dessert cups to arrive from Amazon this morning. And while that is all happening, I need to keep moving because baby Firefly is not happy about me stopping moving. So I'm gonna work on cleaning up some of the house to get ready for Shabbat. And while I do that, I will talk to you guys about Rosh Hashanah.
Before we talk about Rosh Hashanah, though, let's talk about my kids just for a second. I know, my favorite topic, but you guys ask me a lot, what are my kids doing while I am filming? And they're generally just kind of doing their own thing, or they're helping me out in some way. Like here, little dude is helping me put a new trash bag in the trash can. So yeah, they do a lot of, age-appropriate chores, things like that. Or they just start playing together. These two right now are using some mini cookie cutters of mine to create this whole world with characters and buildings, and I don't even know. It was really actually pretty fascinating to watch. And here is my oldest doing some piano practice. He really loves playing the piano. And Bella is usually around underfoot somewhere. Here she is sprawled out in the walkway in the dining room near the living room. Okay, so I'm just going to clean up here in the kitchen real quick and then do some vacuuming. Not really a whole lot today just because we're not having any guests for dinner tonight and we're going out to lunch tomorrow. So I'm not really too terribly concerned about the state of the house going into Shabbat other than that I want it to be basically clean. Okay. So Rosh Hashanah, we started out the holiday by giving the kids these trays. They really, really love trays to eat their food on. They like it like a school lunch. And so that's what they wanted and that's what they got. They really have loved them and we've been using them every day and every meal since, with the exception of our holiday meals. Okay, so I did not go to services at the synagogue during the holiday. My husband did, but I did not. I stayed home. It's very crowded on the holidays. More people will go during the holidays than go regularly. So it's just very crowded and I just prefer to stay at home anyways to do my praying. So that is what I did. The meals were absolutely wonderful. So our first night dinner was at home and we invited a couple over. It was the couple who just got married. So they came and joined us for dinner, which was absolutely lovely. The ones we hosted the Shabbat brachot meal for. The next day for lunch, we were home again and we invited a family over. So that was fun. The kids had someone to play with. And of course we had our friends, the parents were there. Then for dinner that night, it was just us, just the immediate family, which was really, really lovely, and just a nice quiet meal for us at home. And then the next day for lunch, we went out to our neighbors down the street, which was super duper fun. There was another family there as well. And it was a great time. And pretty much all of my spare time during the holiday was spent either reading out loud to the kids or reading on my own. So it was just, it was great. I really, really loved it. It was a very relaxing holiday. I didn't feel like we did too much. I feel like it was just the perfect right amount of everything, especially with everything that we have had going on lately. And that is our Rosh Hashanah in a nutshell.
Okay, I finally got baby Firefly down for a nap, not on me. So I'm going to take advantage of this time while the kids are playing so nicely and my husband is not at home. I think he's at work, I guess, to work on editing some of the footage that I've filmed so far today. And when the little cake cups arrive that I ordered from Amazon, we'll get back to that dessert. Okay, so I know I said that I was going to sit and edit, but I didn't. I ended up booking a campsite instead so that me and the kids can go camping after the holidays. And now I'm sitting here staring out my window looking at flowers because it is really, really pretty outside today. And work can wait. Okay, baby Firefly is awake, but he's just chilling over here in the swing. The other kids are watching a show. And my little dessert cups arrived. So these are just 3-ounce dessert cups. And that's what I'm going to be making the dessert in. I was really hoping to make like 2 dozen or so. I don't know if I have enough cake for that, but we shall see. The thing about gluten-free cake mixes is they really only make like 1 pan of cake as opposed to a regular cake mix, which will make 2. One of the most aggravating things about gluten-free cake mixes. But that's okay, because they make gluten-free cake mixes, and I am super grateful for that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is throw together a quick lunch for the kids and then get to work on this dessert. So let's go do it.
All right, time to whip out the new trays. The kitchen is kind of a mess, so this is the only counter space that I really have to work with. I've got a little bit of space on the other side, but for the most part, this is it. Okay, so for today's lunch, I am making some turkey sandwiches for everybody, and I am going to serve that with a side of applesauce, a couple of gluten-free chocolate chip cookies, also some potato chips, and I'm going to slice up some fresh fruit. There's going to be some apples and a banana. And I am topping off their sandwiches with some cute food pics. I've got some panda bears, some trucks, and some unicorns. I love these. They just make the meal a little bit more fun for the kids. They always get really excited when they see which pics they get in their food. Okay, since the kids are eating, I am going to get back to work on that dessert. I am consulting a very old recipe of mine that I have had since my early 20s, and it is for a cake decorating icing. I am deviating from the recipe ever so slightly, but basically what I am doing is putting in 1 cup of Crisco and then 2 tablespoons of milk. But since I want to keep this not dairy, I'm using that vegan almond milk that I had found. And then I'm adding in 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and then I'm going to cream all of that together. Now, it is a good thing that after I got that going, I checked my recipe one more time because I realized that I had forgotten the butter extract. Now, I don't actually have butter extract. I have this butter flavoring, so I use that instead, and I just put in 1 teaspoon of that. So that is going to all cream together, and once that is done, I will start slowly adding in 1 pound of powdered sugar and just slowly mixing that in a little bit at a time until it is all mixed in. I also stopped to scrape the sides periodically just to make sure that everything was mixing evenly. All right, once that was nice and mixed together, I wanted to add the food coloring. Now, I let my daughter pick which color, and she picked her favorite color, red. I wasn't sure if I'd actually be able to get red icing or not, but I put in all that I had left of this red gel food coloring, turned on the mixer, and so all I could think at this point was, oh my gosh, that is so red.
That turned out really red. And now I'm gonna go hang out with baby Firefly and then come back and finish in a little bit.
All right, after getting baby Firefly down for a nap, I started back at my dessert. So I grabbed the cake because it was fully cooled now and moved it over to a cutting board and started trimming the edges. I wanted to have the inside of the cake as the edge all the way around because that was going to look better once they were in these clear plastic cups that I had purchased. Oh yeah, I don't know if I said, but they did arrive, obviously, because they're right there on the screen. These are just 3-ounce cups, 3-ounce shooter cups, disposable, from Amazon. So anyways, I am just going to use the cups as a guide to try to cut the different sizes because they do kind of taper a bit from the bottom to the top. And I want to make sure that I have kind of the right size to squeeze in there. So once I had all of those cut up and kind of sorted out in little stacks, I went and put the bottom layer in and started with my icing. I put the icing in a piping bag just to make it easier to get the icing in there so I wouldn't get red icing all over the sides of the cups. And then I just kind of started in with my layers. I did end up cutting the middle layer in half because I felt like it was going to be too much cake, but by the time I was done, I don't think it would have been too much cake, but either way, live and learn. And I just kind of kept going, putting in icing and putting in cake and putting in icing and putting in cake until I had finished with all of them. So the last touch here was to add a cookie on top. I had wanted to put sprinkles on top as well, but by the time I got the cookie on there, it just kind of felt like the sprinkles would be overkill and there just wasn't quite room for sprinkles on top in addition to everything else that was kind of going on there. So I don't know, if there was a smaller cookie, I think it would be fine, but with these cookies really being almost as big as the entire top, I didn't feel like it was going to be a good call to add sprinkles as well. But hey, there are sprinkles in the cookies, so it's not like these are without sprinkles. And so there you go, that's the whole thing. I think they turned out pretty good.
Okay, so there has been a lot of going back and forth while I've been making these desserts to deal with baby Firefly. Because he doesn't want to sleep for more than like 10 minutes at a time, and he's super fussy when he is awake. He's probably got a tummy ache or something like that. Anyways, these are the desserts. I think they came out superbly cute. I did learn a lot from making these. I've never done anything quite like this before. So what I would do for next time is the cake, I would cut them larger so that they're more flush with the sides, like where they actually push up against the sides and there's more cake in there. And I would do more icing. And I would level off my cake slices, my little cake slices, so that they're even and there's not this kind of like, they're all different heights, and I don't like that. I would make them all the same height. And I would make more icing because there's still there's gaps in some of the icing, and I would just do more icing next time. I thought I had put plenty in there. Once the cake was in there, it's clear though that I did not. And the cookie on top is a store-bought cookie. A homemade cookie would be better, but we can't have it all. Overall though, I'm so stoked with how they turned out. The kids are over the moon excited. I have enough to bring for lunch tomorrow and enough for us to eat for dinner tonight. So I think that that's perfect, and this is a lovely Shabbat treat. Okay, so I'm gonna figure out a way to package these up. My friend is actually going to swing by and pick them up because she's gonna be out this afternoon. So I don't even have to go deliver them anywhere, which is a huge help. And my neighbor is doing their lawn, so sorry about the noise in the background, but I'm taking advantage of what time I have while baby Firefly is asleep. Speaking of which, I gotta package these up, and I will probably be running around cleaning up the kitchen like crazy for the next little bit. It's early afternoon now, but I will probably not check back in with you guys until a little bit closer to when Shabbat is starting, just because I feel like I've got a lot to do around here. And then again, like I said, when baby Firefly is awake, he's not super happy, so I need to be there for him. So I'll check back with you guys a little bit later on this afternoon. All right, and that's a wrap. We are at the end of our day, or at least the end of the filming of my day. I still have Shabbat dinner coming here in a few, but for now I am all ready to go and my jobs are all done. So, so that's it. All right, please give this video a thumbs up, hit that like button if you enjoyed. I super appreciate it and it helps my channel out a lot. Drop me a comment down below, anything will do. Algorithmic engagement comments appreciated. Thank you so very much. And last but not least, please be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell so that you get all of your notifications, because I would absolutely love to see you here again. And with that, we are calling this video a close. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in my next upload. But yeah, in the meantime, okay, so, oh, there's my husband calling. So I'll check with it back